I'm Mari-Louise Candiote. I am wife to my Mr. Perfect, Alec Candiotes, and together we have 3 girls, Eliana, Leah and Ava. And then I'm also the founder of Just A Momma blog. It's a proudly South African family lifestyle blog, and together we live in Pretoria and just try and make the best of the life we've been given. It was actually a little bit by accident. I had a baby clothing label way back years and years ago, and that gave me a door into the mommy community. I was a new mom. I felt like every new mom, I was doing this for the first time. It came with a lot of anxiety, anxiousness, fears, just loneliness. And somehow I decided to start making baby clothes, which is really bizarre because before that I couldn't even sew a button onto a shirt. But I started my clothing label, and as it grew, I kind of realized that my interest didn't lie with the clothes, but more with the moms that were buying from me. And I had these relationships that just kept growing. And then one day I decided to leave the clothing label behind and rather focus on creating a community where moms could connect and maybe feel a little less lonely and bewildered, because that's kind of, I think, how we all feel when we have babies for the first time. And that's when I decided to do it in the shape of a blog. Ooh, I ask that to myself daily. I think moms follow me because I really try my best to be helpful. I don't want any content or any information that I put out there to just be part of the noise, because we live in a noisy world, and it's not just because we've got kids in our home. There's information overload. There is just so many people telling us so many different things. So I try and keep what I spread to be simple, helpful, and also motivating. We all know the parenting gig is super hard. So I feel that maybe that morning when you woke up really tired, or that day when your baby just can't stop screaming, maybe you need just a little pick-me-up, and I try to spread the word on that. How surprised we were. We actually thought we were gonna stop contraception and it'll take some time and we will have time to prepare for parenthood and pregnancy and everything. And then 28 days later, we were pregnant, and it was the best surprise of our life, because obviously we wanted to start a family, but yeah, just we never expected it to happen that quickly. So that I remember. And then during the pregnancy, I don't think you ever forget like that amazing feeling of a baby inside of you. Like, I think that will stay with me forever. During pregnancy, I was really lucky with my first pregnancy. It was pretty much a breeze. I didn't feel uncomfortable, I wasn't nauseous, I kept exercising right up until 40 weeks, which was bizarre, but I really felt good. And then I had my second pregnancy, and things were a little bit different. I obviously struggled with fatigue, but I developed the strangest rash all over my body, and it drove me insane. I couldn't stop scratching. I really didn't care. I was like prepared to have marks all over my body for the rest of my life, and nobody kind of could figure it out until a very clever doctor came to the conclusion that I had an allergic reaction to my pregnancy. And it was, to this day, it's like the smallest percentage of women that actually suffer from this, but it does have to do with the rhesus factor that we had to deal with, because I'm an O negative mom and my husband is positive. And it was just insane. Like for a good month and a half, they could do nothing. So it was just like the itchiest time of my life. And then with my third pregnancy, we knew it was coming, and it was there for 4 weeks, and then it was over. But yeah, that was super bizarre, and yeah, something we just had to deal with. Post-pregnancy, I think the hardest thing for me, except for all the usual stuff that we all kind of need to figure out, was definitely breastfeeding. Breastfeeding was a nightmare. I pretty much hated every second of I think the first 2 weeks were fine, and then week 2 to 12 was a nightmare. But in my head, I had decided to breastfeed, and I'm glad that I did pull through, because it took a lot of support from specialists and doctors and everybody to just help me find a plan. But as soon as we kind of figured out what worked for us, it was amazing. But yeah, breastfeeding was a big challenge. There's so many, but this one always stands out because you just have to laugh about it. We were at church, and it was one of those, we wanted to christen our little girl, and you had to go to a morning where you spend time, and they would give you a little course and tell you why you would be christened. And I was breastfeeding at that time, and I had my breast pump with me because obviously like it was a whole day, so I had to express and stuff like that. And my husband was helping me. We thought we were being very sneaky, and we snuck off to like what we thought was the baby room. And we sat there, and I was very relaxed because I thought like this is one of those one-way mirror things. People won't be able to see us. And I was sitting there, and I took off my shirt, and it was a double pump, and I put it on, and I was so relaxed. And I put on the breast pump, and as I put it on, it wasn't like a silent breast pump. The pastor kind of started looking, and I still sat there, and I was like, I wonder what they're talking about. And then everybody turned around and looked right at us. And I was like, I think they can see us. And my husband just stood up and went and stood in front of me. And yeah, I was like, okay, well, this is parenting now. Now nothing can be worse than this. And yeah, we had to like finish expressing, and I had to get up, and we went outside, and everybody just started laughing, and we laughed about it, and we were like, okay, well, we're super close now. We can all christen our kids together. So yeah, that one stands out. I thought I would have like this instinct. I thought they would hand me my baby because that's what it looked like, and I would just be connected to her, and we would just know each other instantly. But it didn't actually happen. It was easier with my second and my third, but I really struggled with our eldest. I loved her instantly, but I couldn't connect with her because I just felt so lost. And I also, because I was struggling with breastfeeding, I remember crying one night and just telling my husband, I think she's never gonna love me. Because I love her, but I can't figure her out. And that just threw me. To me, that was just, I never expected to feel so lost. Oh, that's easy, a baby carrier. A baby carrier is a must. We don't have family close by, and I don't have a nanny or anybody that can really necessarily help me with our girls. So a baby carrier is a must. Oh well, except for the basics, snacks and sunscreen. I'm the paranoid mom that is like, I keep applying and applying and applying. So my kids are always like the little white kids running around. They've got sunscreen all over. And snacks, I mean, for me and for the kids, like we all don't go well without snacks. That's an impossible question. Everything, and sometimes none of it. It's so hard. I think it changes. When I had our babies, like, I think there's nothing like the smell of a newborn baby, but it changes so much. Now, if I think about where all our girls are at, I love the cuddles with Ava. I love the banter with Leah because she's just so funny. Toddlers say like the best things. But with our eldest Eliana, she's like growing into a proper like girl. She's not little anymore, and just having that privilege of like remembering holding her for the first time and now getting to see this person unfold in front of you is incredible, because she's not a baby anymore, and I'm so obviously super important, but I'm kind of sitting back and she's revealing parts of her to me that, I mean, I could have never even thought existed. So I think that is probably the most amazing thing. This is super important. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything without my husband, and I wouldn't want to raise our girls without him. He is in so many ways doing so many things that I can't do. I really, really strongly believe that a family unit is a mom and a dad for a reason. And although I take my hat off to any single parent raising their kids, I know that I would not be able to raise our girls without him. During pregnancy, I mean, he was fantastic. Foot rubs, midnight runs to wherever, all of those. But he was also the guy that kept me sane. He kind of, I remember I was actually in labor at 35 weeks with Leah, and I was lying on the bed and I was like, no man, I'm just tired, it's Braxton Hicks. And he just looked at me and was like, you are a funny color, we need to go now. And I think that's what a dad does. A dad is kind of like the voice of sanity, and for me, he knew when things were too much. He really protected me during pregnancy, and he protected our girls. And I think a lot of the times that gets overlooked, because if your husband can be involved and if he is there for you, it makes pregnancy so much easier. And then after pregnancy, of course, he's the fun parent. He gets to throw them higher than anybody else, and he also makes me way more fun because he helps me to stress less. He helps me make the really tough decisions. We can kind of talk it out, and he's just an amazing example to our girls of what they can expect from their husbands one day, and also what they can just expect from men in the world, which I think obviously in the time that we're living, there's so many fatherless homes, so dads need to be just spoken about more, given more credit, and just be part of the whole parenting experience more. Mom shaming, I think, well, parent shaming. I think it's a tricky one because sometimes people do it on purpose, but a lot of the times it's not necessarily something, it's not something you meant to do, but it's small things like maybe giving a mom advice when she didn't ask for it, or raising that eyebrow when you're standing in line at Pick n Pay and this child is still screaming. It's small things like that that can really be like just that thing that just sets you off for the day. So for me, I think if we can kind of just know that most parents really do want the best for their kids and they are doing their best. If we can give ourselves and each other a little bit of grace, it can go a long way. Okay, I think know that what you are doing is good enough. Even when you have no clue what it is, even if you're unsure if it's right, your baby is your baby. That baby wasn't meant to be anybody else's. The mistakes you make, the choices you do, the things you do right and wrong, it's okay, because all of that, it's going to be part of who that person needs to be. So don't be too hard on yourself. Know that that baby is yours for a reason. You can trust your instincts. because the only thing that baby really needs is a loving home, and there's no way you're not absolutely head over heels in love with that baby. So just keep trusting in that. So, and if you want to know more about our family, our blog, you can visit justamomma.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure everything will be linked below. And yeah, I'd love for any mom, if you're feeling lonely, if you've got 3 kids and you know exactly what you're doing, we can use your help. So any mom that wants to be part of our Mama tribe, we welcome everyone, moms, dads, the pros and the winging it, last minute moms. We're all there.